I hope that you are well and healthy. Thank you for visiting my channel, Math Lover and More. Today, you will learn how to represent or model real-life situations using table, graph, algebraic expressions, or written words. To start with, let us have a real-life situation. The parking fee is 50 pesos for the first hour, plus 10 pesos for every hour thereafter. Model the fee for every hour of parking a vehicle. So first, we analyze the given in the situation. We know that the parking fee is 50 pesos for the first hour. And then, we have to pay 10 pesos for every hour thereafter, after paying the first hour. So we start paying 10 pesos additional in the second hour. Model the fee for every hour of parking a vehicle. So we will start modeling this with a table. So we have here, the first part of the table is the number of hours. So for the number of hours, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then age. We represent this with a variable because there are many number of hours. There is no fixed value of that. So the value varies. That is why we use a variable for that quantity. And then we have here the fee in pesos. So we know that in the first hour, we pay 50 pesos. And so if you park for 1 hour only, your payment is just 50 pesos. But if you park for 2 hours, your payment will become 60 because you will have to pay 10 pesos additional for every hour. So 50 for the first hour and 10 pesos for the next hour. So that becomes 60. And if you park for 3 hours, you will pay for 50 pesos for the first hour. And for the next 2 hours, you will pay 10 pesos per hour. And so you will pay 20 pesos. So the total fee will be 70 pesos. And for the fourth hour, you pay 50 for the first hour. And since you have 3 hours after the first hour, then it will be 3 times 10 and it's 30. And so you add 30 with 50. So your total fee will be 80 pesos for 4 hours. And for the fifth, you will have 50 plus 40 pesos. And so you will pay 90 pesos. So if you have each number of hours, so what will be your payment? And so from the situation, we know that in the first hour, you will pay 50 pesos. And so we pay 50 pesos. Okay, so 50, that's for the first hour, plus, so 50 for the first hour, and we pay an additional of 10 pesos. But since for the first hour, you don't pay an additional, you will pay in the second hour only, second hour, and so on. And so, the number of hours, that is H, we subtract with 1. Because in the first hour, you don't pay additional 10 pesos. So that is why 10 times H minus 1. And so we compute further. We have 50 plus 10. 10 times H is 10H. So you are distributing 10 to the parentheses. 10 times H is 10H. minus 10 times 1 is 10. So you have here minus 10. And so, to compute this further, to simplify, since we have 50 and minus 10, so 50 minus 10 is 40. So our final answer will be 40 plus 10h. So for our algebraic expression, our final answer will be 40, 40 plus 10h. So this is our algebraic expression for our situation. So that is how we model the situation earlier with algebraic expression. Okay, the next is we will model this using a graph. Okay, so let's use a graph to model this one. So we know that we have the number of hours. So we have to identify the x and the y axis. The horizontal line will be our x-axis, and we label it number of hours. And the vertical line will be our y-axis, and we label it the fees, the total fees. And so for our number of hours, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And then for our fees, if we park for 1 hour, then according to the situation, we pay 50 pesos. That is why in the fees, that's 50, and we get the intersection of 50 and 1, and so we shade that area, and that becomes our bar graph for the first hour. For the second hour, we pay 50, and there's additional 10 pesos for each hour thereafter, so that becomes 50 plus 10. So our fee will become 60. So that's in the 60, and then it intersects with the number of hours, that is 2. That is why for the red bar, that is our payment for 2 hours parking. And then let's proceed to the third bar, the blue one. For 3 hours, we will pay 50 plus, we have 2 hours times 10, so that becomes 20. And then 20 plus 50, we have 70 pesos. So we will pay 70 for 3 hours of parking. So we get the intersection of the x-axis and the y-axis. So you can see that the blue bar there, it reaches the 70 in the y-axis. So we have the green bar now. We pay, how much do we pay for 4 hours of parking? For the first hour, we pay 50 pesos. And so 3 hours are in excess. So 3 times 10, that is 30. And that's what we are going to add to 50. So we get 80. So our payment for 4 hours of parking is 80 pesos. And then for the pink one, how about if we park for 5 hours? We pay 50 pesos plus 10 pesos for each hour thereafter. So there are 4 hours in excess. So 4 times 10 is 40 plus 50 pesos. So we have 90 pesos our total payment. And so that is why for each number of hours that we park, we have 40 plus 10 times h. Okay? So that is how we represent the situation using a graph. Okay. Next, we will have our representation using algebraic expressions. So I've already discussed this. For the first hour, we pay 50 pesos. And then plus 10, we're supposed to multiply it by the number of hours. But then, since it stayed there that we pay 50 for the first hour and additional 10 pesos for the next hour. So we subtract the number of hour, that is h, with 1, because for the first hour, we pay 50 pesos only. We don't pay the additional 10. We pay it in the second hours and the third, and so on. So that is why we have h minus 1. After distributing 10, we simplify and then we get 40 plus 10h. That is now our final algebraic expression for this situation. Okay, that's the algebraic expression that represent or model the real life situation earlier. Okay, next, we will have to put meaning, to give the meaning of that algebraic expression. So, in written word, it means the total fees, F, is 40 plus 10 times the number of hours for parking. So, the total fees of parking is 40 plus 10 times the number of hours for parking. So that is the meaning of that algebraic expression. Okay, let's proceed. We will represent situations using algebraic expressions. Real life situations. So here we have the cost of a bottled water is 10 pesos. What is the cost of B bottles? So when we have variable, that means it is it's the value that could change. So it has varied values. So that means we can have 10 bottles, 11 bottles. So that's why it's called a variable. And so we let B be the number of bottles. And since each bottle is 10 pesos, so for the cost of B bottles, we just multiply 10 by B. So the final algebraic expression is 10B. Okay, the next, the age of Rudy is twice the age of Mario. What is the age of Rudy? Okay, so we know that the age of Rudy is twice, meaning 2 times the age of Mario. And so we let A be the age of Mario. We don't know what's the age of Mario. And so for the unknown values, we always represent it with a variable. So we don't know the age of Mario, and so we let A be the age of Mario. And since it is stated here that the age of Rudy is twice the age of Mario, and so the word twice means 2 times. And since we let A be the age of Mario, and so the age of Rudy is equal to 2A. So that's the algebraic expressions 2A. Okay, the last one, a chocolate bar costs 150 pesos. What is the cost of B bar of chocolates? So we have the variable B that represents the number of bar of chocolates. And so, what will be the payment of B bar of chocolate? So each bar of chocolate is 150 pesos. So, whatever is the number of bars, we just multiply it by 150 so that we will know how much we are going to pay for it. So, our algebraic expression will become 150B. So, that's it. That's how easy it is to represent situations using algebraic expressions. And so this time, you will have to practice what you learn based on my explanation. So you may pause the video and answer the drill here. Okay. So for letter A, you will model the given real-life situations using table, graph, algebraic expression, and written word, or the meaning. Okay, number 1. In a beach resort, you have to pay for a cottage worth 500 pesos and an entrance fee of 100 pesos per person. Okay. Model the fee for the number of people who go swimming in the beach resort. Okay, you may answer that. Okay. Okay, the next number. In riding a taxi, the passenger is charged with 50 pesos for the first kilometer and 5 pesos per kilometer for the succeeding distance in kilometers. Model the payment for the number of kilometers of riding a taxi. So there's that is charged with 50 pesos for the first kilometer and an additional 5 pesos per kilometer for the succeeding distance in kilometers. Model the payment for the number of kilometers of riding a taxi. Okay, for letter B, you are going to represent the following situations in algebraic expressions. Number 3, the cost of a bag is 300 pesos. What is the cost of B bags? Number 4, the salary of my dad is thrice the salary of my brother. What is the salary of my dad? Okay, you may answer it and you may check the answer key by the Google form that I will be providing to you in the next days to come. Okay, that ends our discussion for today. Thank you for listening, for coming to my channel. I hope that you learned something from our discussion. May God bless you. Goodbye, everyone.